DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. PK, the Monday press conference with Kyle Whittingham. I thought the next big question, we're not quite there yet because there's 2 games left in the regular season, and then we'll see what there is beyond that. And as Kyle pointed out while answering the question, they've moved the transfer portal window back from December to January. So while decisions can be made, they can also be reversed, and the intrigue can swirl on longer. But what's the long-term plan with 2 underclassmen quarterbacks who both look like they can win games? I mean, forever, and by forever I mean, the last 2 years. But maybe before that, but certainly it's been on full display the last 2 years. Why don't the Utes have a better backup quarterback? Well, now it looks like they've got him. But they got a freshman and a junior, right? So, 1, how do you get the money to retain them both? And 2, do you have the playing time to retain them both? And Kyle got asked that, and I think he addressed it, pretty much as well as you could in November. But he did say it's an administrative thing. I love that. I mean, they've got this $20.5 million as part of the House settlement, and how do you divvy that up between sports? And everybody wants football to win, but everybody wants the other programs funded, and it's going to take money to keep a quarterback, which I thought Kyle underlined with the quote, it's an administrative thing. I've recruited him, I've coached him up, but I don't get to decide how much money we get.
Well, I asked him a question, who's better?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he handled it politically correct. They're different.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're not.
They are, because one guy throws the ball better downfield than the other.
But he said they're different
He did.
in effectiveness.
He did.
Not one is better than the other.
He was very careful not to say that.
Right. But the thing that caught my ear is that Byrd, the Fick man, has more zip. He said that. More zip. That's Z-I-P. Not 2 P's.
Just 1.
Although there's a sports bar down in the Phoenix area that is Z-I-P-P. But that doesn't apply in this case.
Okay, random knowledge. Thank you.
If you're ever down there.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, if he can zip it better, then zip it. Zip it good.
Is he Devo all of a sudden?
So go ahead and go along those lines. I believe that in 2026, the Fick man
will be the guy?
Yeah. At some point.
Oh, not out of the gate.
I haven't seen the schedule. I don't know what it is and all that stuff yet. But he's the future, and it's not the distant future. If he can zip it better, you have no passing attack now. I mean, you can get up there all the time, and you're right, so good for you, and say, well, we didn't have much in the throw game, but we didn't need much. All right, you got me there, but you're going to go through every season, every game, not
because
needing the throw game?
You're going to need it against elite teams. The run game is so good this year, and I don't know if it'll be that good again next year, and we're going to have to rebuild the offensive line, but
that's a big deal.
The run game is so good right now.
They literally should lose all the offensive linemen because the seniors obviously going to go, and the other 2 take the money, boys.
Yeah, off to the NFL. Your first-round draft picks.
For what it's worth, the 2026 schedule has 3 straight home games to start the season.
So
they open against Idaho, host Arkansas, and host Utah State.
Yeah.
Arkansas with a new coach because they're on the list of teams that's already fired their guys.
Yeah. So with that in mind, you're going to have a better throw game, and as he calls it. And if this guy has more zip on the ball, he's a better thrower. You got to play the best guys.
Yep.
That's all it boils down to. That's your allegiance is to always play the best guys. Nothing else. Nothing gets in the way of playing the best guys who give you the best chance to win.
Once you let sentimentality put its nose under the tent, you're in trouble.
Right. So
you don't get any points for sentimentality.
This is what we've got going here. And then that doesn't mean Dampier can't have a role. Well, it doesn't mean he stays. Maybe he goes to some other place. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen. But when you're telling me that this young man over here has more zip on the ball, that's all I need to know. Because we've already seen he's an electrifying runner. That's a fact. So we've got that covered. And as crazy as it may sound, he may be a better runner than Dampier.
That is crazy.
But I haven't seen that enough yet to think that.
I get it, but you saw the 2 long runs against Baylor, and you've seen some other runs.
Right, but I mean, Dampier has the ability to dance around, go left, go right, go up, move back. I haven't seen Birdman do that yet. I've seen him in a straight line just haul.
Just fly away from everybody.
Right, so we know he can do that. So what's it going to be when he has to move around a little bit and dance around and buy time? Dampier's excellent at that.
Well, how explosive will it be when he's an every down guy and he gets all the hits and all the bumps and all the bruises? Maybe something worse than that. Maybe playing on a sprained ankle or whatever. Because Dampier is 102 carries into the season. Ficklin's got less than half of that. He's at 47. So how often do you get hit, and how do you hold up over the course of a season?
Yeah, but I mean, you can't not play somebody who's better because I'm worried about him getting hurt.
Oh, I agree. That's not the point I'm making. The point I was making was what you said about we've seen him fly in a straight line, but what's it going to be like when he's the guy and there's more snaps and you see the one where, okay, now he's in traffic and yet he's got to get 2 more yards, push the pile forward, or cut and drag this guy an extra yard or 2.
And Dampier does that.
Dampier's gotten hard yards. Yeah. You know, it's 3rd and 5, and he gets 6.5. And with Ficklin, we've seen him more on the edge just fly away from people.
And I trust Dampier in those situations. But
if Ficklin's an every snap guy, he's not going to average 9 yards a carry.
He's never going to stretch the defense.
Not going to happen. They don't fear it. They know not to fear it. They've seen all the underthrown deep balls, and that's why Ficklin is going to win out here.
He's
at some
the
point.
Reaper, and they don't fear the Reaper.
I was surprised when you said next season because I thought by the start of next season. You said some point next season.
Mm-hmm.
I thought by the start.
Maybe so.
Yeah, with a spring ball and a fall, and now they have confidence because Kyle's so big on turnovers. And if it is Morgan next year, Morgan's going to be just as big on turnovers as Kyle was.
It's just Jason Beck is going to have the guts. So they had that situation with
Rodgers at running back.
Running back doesn't matter.
I thought he stayed loyal to Rodgers.
Quarterback is far more important.
I get that, but I thought he stayed. I thought Parker should have emerged over Rodgers a few games before he did.
And who was the kid who came up from L.A.? We had his high school coach on. Was his name Williams? And he was battling.
Oh, you're talking years ago when Troy Williams was the starter as a JC transfer. And they had a good junior year, but they didn't cash in on a senior year. They went to Huntley as a sophomore.
Right, But
again, they were playing for the long run.
Troy Taylor had the guts to make that call, and it was the right call. Now, does Beck have the guts to make that call, turning his back on his 2-year starter, turning on his back on a guy who helped him essentially get the Utah job and the fat raise?
Yeah, but back to play the best guy.
Right. But we're dealing with emotions. It's
And
not a mathematical 2 + 2 = 4 at all times.
I think there's a lot of loyalty there.
Yeah.
And I thought we saw it, and that's why Rodgers was getting carries that I thought could have gone to Parker. Well, Rodgers came from New Mexico, and Parker didn't. And it took a long time. Now Parker emerges
from Washington State. I think that's even.
No, because the offensive coordinator has more say than the running back coach, I think.
If he wants it. But normally they let their position guys determine who plays.
I don't see any other reason that why in October Parker is getting limited to 6 or 8 carries a game.
Did they win those games if they have Parker carrying 15 times?
Maybe the BYU game. I don't think they win the Texas Tech game, but maybe the BYU game. But I thought play the best guy.
I think they did at the time.
I don't know. Well, agree to disagree. I don't think they did.
You were all jacked up on they got to get Merriweather the ball more.
Yeah, now he's hurt. Well, he's open downfield, but they can't get the ball to him.
He's on his 3rd team because he isn't good enough.
Okay, but he's still open. And when he is open, even if it's only a few times, get him the ball.
Right. That's why you put in Byrd.
I know. I agree.
Yeah. But does Beck have the ability to change that? Can he actually even do it? You can argue that, well, having Dampier leave makes the decision much easier. Now, it weakens your team. You don't want him to leave.
Now you're without a backup quarterback again.
Well, they've got other guys coming in. So
Maybe one of the unproven guys will step into the role.
we'll see about that. Yeah, I mean, who would have thought that
Maybe they won't need him.
Ficklin would be such a dynamic player this year, but yet he has been. So there's a bunch of things that can still happen. So from that perspective, that's why I said some point during the year. Because
Well, what is Ficklin's mindset? Is that good enough to keep him here? Don't you assume that somebody else is out there looking at him tampering after all the interviews we've had, all the people we've talked to?
Sure, and I also assume that Utah's out there looking too. Works both ways.
I get it,
That's
but
a one-way deal.
But them out there looking doesn't help them keep Byrd Ficklin. And
no,
in
but
this
so
case-
as they get somebody better.
Well, that would be interesting. I don't see that happening. I would expect Dampier or Ficklin as a starting quarterback next year. That someone else comes in over the top of them.
Well, I didn't say over the top of him. I said in place of Ficklin.
So Dampier is the starter and Ficklin leaves and they bring in someone else.
If
as a
it
backup.
happens, it happens. Yeah, and then you go out and you find somebody else. I mean, I know our guys; they're sinless, but
Everybody's reaching out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
There's no way
who's to
they're
say, especially if Ficklin leaves early and you got somebody, that's how they got Bachmeier. He's going to come in for a year and sit behind Retzlaff. And so if Ficklin leaves, then Dampier is the established starter. So you bring in somebody who's a freshman and actually has a redshirt year.
We're going to get you up to speed.
Yeah.
Maybe a red shirt. Maybe there's an injury and you're the guy this year. We got to get you up to speed right away.
And obviously it went haywire with Retzlaff's issue.
But they landed on their feet.
Yeah. And then say, oh, man, I told you about, kept saying all summer it was going to be Bear, and it was. And good for them. Now they're set up. Looks like they're set up until he's done and this Ryder kid comes in and away they go. We'll see if it plays out that way. I don't know. So many things can happen between now and then. And we see crazy things happen just in such a short span of time, too. But all those things, so...
It's good to have a long-term plan, but so many crazy things happen, you got to be ready to adjust.
You have to be prepared for everything. If Ficklin wants to go or Dampier wants to go, you say, well, thank you. I wouldn't necessarily get in a bidding war because I don't know that if either one of those guys go, that it has a major impact on wins and losses.
Well, and if you do get in a bidding war, assuming they're capped out, if that's really how the rules work, if you pay two quarterbacks, you're not going to pay another portion of the roster, and that'll get you beat. So.
Well, yeah, but see, that's where, and Dillingham said this just yesterday. Mm-hmm. He said, we're doing great on fans and boosters and students. I mean, they've sold out every game. Mm-hmm. First time, I don't know, however long. And he said what we are lagging behind, and he constantly talks about this, he beats the drum almost every day, is we need the businesses. And they need to step up. And why wouldn't you want to have our guys associated with your business? And so from that perspective, yeah, that's the same thing here. They need these businesses, the business people who've got the cash to offset what they're lacking. Yeah.
Make Byrd Ficklin and Devon Dampier the face of your business. Make Bear Bachmeier the face of your business.
Now, we're already seeing Dampier does a water ad here. We've played several times.
Yeah.
So I think that they can get that.
Yeah.
But it's going to be the other folks because you've got the money, so you've got all that stuff going on.
I was watching the Utah State Weaver State basketball game, and there was Dan there that ran a few times where the five basketball players all had a line in the ad and were passing the basketball off screen, and then the next guy caught it. They were selling cars, so it can be done. It's out there.
Yeah. So I don't know that they're in a bad spot, but everybody wants more spot, a better spot. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everybody's chasing Ohio State, and Ohio State wants more.
And then there comes a time to where if, like they did, BYU did with Marion, here's what we got. You want more? You're free to leave.
Coaches can't give it away if they don't have it.
And so he left. And I have no idea what he's doing in Miami. I haven't paid a lick of attention. And I don't know what he would have done here. But he had a nice season last year, obviously, particularly with the special teams and all that. So with that in mind, away you go. Right? Here's the quote. Our casual fans, unbelievable. We've sold out every game. We're activating the 99%. Where we're still missing is the city. The businesses in the city, the big-time, high-end donor base.
Where's my billionaires?
Yeah. And that's going to cap them at a certain level.
Mm-hmm.
They can be good, but you're going to have to get the diamonds.
Diamonds in the rough, sneak up on them, and how often can you do that if Texas Tech is out there tens of millions at a time? All of a sudden, you're the Rays trying to take down the Yankees and the Red Sox and the Dodgers and the Jays.
You can be 7, 8, 9 wins, maybe competitive, particularly if you dummy down the non-conference schedule. But can you get 11? Probably not.
How often can you win the league and grab a playoff berth?
Yeah.
Once or twice a decade if you're lucky.
Right. So you're going, and I think it applies for Utah also. It's the same thing. Apparently BYU's got them, from what we understand. And somebody like Utah, and I just spoke of the one here down in the desert, they need to get that. And how are you going to be able to do that? Right? So if you can do that, then you can have it. I mean, he said yesterday, just Kyle, speaking of he just went right where the top 25, you're going to find out, is going to be the budget. He said it again yesterday. And he has such credibility when he says that stuff because of his longevity, and he doesn't have to worry about losing his job or winning over people. So he can tell it like it is, particularly as he takes the broad perspective, big picture view of college football. And he's telling us truth. And he's not saying it. Dillingham's trying to sell it because he's only 35. Kyle's 66 in a few days, right? So away he goes. So there you go on that. So when he says this, he's appealing to the businesses, but it's not really going to affect his life either way because he's on the end side of it.
But when two guys at different ends of the career arc are saying the same thing, and they're both winning way more than they're losing, so they're not making excuses.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what you're supposed to do as a reporter, is get more than one source and make sure they're different, that someone's not echoing what somebody else said.
Right.
And, okay, they live in different states, they got different backgrounds, they're different ages, but they're both winning, and they're both seeing the same thing. You know, they both admit, yeah, we got more than this school, who we thump in September by 50, because we got more than them.
Yeah.
But then we lose to this school in October because they got more than us. And it's just pretty straightforward.
And I think Ficklin was one of those gems.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. He's not exactly five-star guy where Ohio State, Alabama, and Georgia are all on him.
Now it's going to turn out the arc is certainly up. We're all of us are excited about his potential.
But the more he plays, the more those schools are going to come calling.
Maybe so.
Yeah. All right, Yak, you said you had a little news. What are you seeing?
On3's reporting, Steve Wilfong and Pete Nacco said that Arizona State quarterback Sam Levitt is being actively shopped at, quote, a high level to other programs with the plan of entering the transfer portal when the window opens on January 2nd. They are hearing that his return to Arizona State for a third year is, quote, doubtful, and he is being represented by his brother, Dallin, as a representative from CAA, the agency he's signed with.
His brother Dallin, local tie.
So might be in the market for ASU looking for a quarterback.
You were telling us quotes that the coach and the AD weren't exactly on the same page talking about Levitt's future.
Oh, they can't afford him.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to the NFL.
So they better cash in.
He hasn't shown up.
Yeah.
The last I saw, he was at best a second-day pick. Mm-hmm. And that's dicey.
Yeah. Second-day pick. Hope you go to the right team.
Might even be a third day.
Catch on as a backup.
He hasn't done that much.
Right.
But money talks, man. And if he can go get himself a bigger deal, so be it.
DJ PK, we got to take a break. When we come back, it's Utah Jazz Ticket Tuesday. We'll give away tickets to the Friday night game, the World Champs. Oklahoma City will be in town. We got free tickets on the other side of the break. Stay with us.